The making of Sugarcane Alley was very hard. Nobody wanted to do it because the characters were black. They would tell me, it's a great story, but it's not black. It's not bankable. We won't know how to market this. We won't know how to sell that film.
José, tu vois comme la case est propre. Les vêtements pas salis. Pas fait moins façon, hein? Bon.
The movie proves them wrong. The success, the huge success of the film proves them wrong. If the movie is a great story, people will go and see the film. The same way that they go and they see what movies, because you call my stories black stories, that's what I will tell them. So when you market your film, you know, we go and we see it. So why? Because that one has black characters, it won't sell.
Vous avez des dîners seulement?
I was very happy. I wouldn't say surprised, but very happy to see the impact, the film's impact on the young generation. Because you know, a movie that I did in 1983, we are in 2019, and one could think how the new generation will see the film, and maybe they won't be interested in watching it. And no, the movie is a classic all over the world and has been a classic for many years. And the young generation, they just embrace the movie. They love it, they giggle, you know, there are moves, you know, and they truly love the film. In the movie, we talk about, human values, about, you know, love, struggle, death, about friendship, you know, about so many things that are in our daily life, wherever we are, whatever our race, what our gender, our creed. I mean, you know, that I think that that's why people, this generation and maybe the next generation, you know, they will keep, you know, embracing the film. I was young, I was female, and I was black, and they tried to make me to present that like handicaps, and I decided to use the so-called handicaps, you know, like tools, very strong tool to fight, you know, and impose myself and fight for my baby, I would say. We have to acknowledge even the small steps. I was very fortunate to have two major people in my life when I was a young girl, or when I was born. Actually, my dad, who was a feminist, and the first feminist that I met, who never made a difference between boys and girls at home. Everything that girls would do, like domestic things, works in the house, boys had to do the same, because as he used to say, you had 10 fingers, so you should be able to do that. And also he will help me, encourage me to do things that boys will do, like technical things, you know, because if you are alone, if you have to deal with that, you need to know, you need to do it on your own, you know. And then the other person was my grandmother on my father's side. She told me, first of all, when you love somebody, when you love something, when you have a dream, you have a passion for something, never let anyone take you off track of that dream, of that desire that you have. And if they put a fence in front of you, and they tell you, oh no, you cannot do that because you are a girl, or oh no, you cannot do that because this or because that, you know, just jump over it and fly, okay? And I never forgot those things, you know. that was gift that she gave me, and I put that around my neck, you know, like a beautiful necklace. I carry that all my life, still today. And that always encouraged me to be bold, to be, you know, to fight for what I believe is right and what I want to do. I woke up one morning just like a composer, and in the music, and you know, you have a kind of tune that comes just like that. You don't know why, and you don't know when that will happen, but your muse just give you that, and you have something in your head, and then you feel like, okay, going to the piano or guitar or whatever, or you know, or cello, whatever your instrument, and just you play with it like this, and the tune keep building and building. The stories sometimes is the same thing with me. I'm somewhere, I'm traveling, I'm in a plane, I'm in the countryside, or, you know, any place, and I have just like an idea, and I see my characters, like Simeon, that happened like that for that movie. I heard music, and I saw, you know, the old man and that young girl, and I say, oh, and then I will grab a paper, pieces of paper, wherever I could find them, and you know, write some stuff on those as they come to me, on the papers, and or now I have the computer, so I'll go and I will type things, just notes, and the story start building in my head, and sometimes, you know, I discover a great book, you know, a great book, and I read the book, and oh my God, and I say, oh, that talks to me, because I always said that I can write screenplays, I can write stories, I have plenty in my head, plenty of stories that I would like to bring to the screen. But when I'm lucky to, you know, to find a book that has so many things that echoes with what I have inside, why to be arrogant? Take the book and adapt it. It saves you the trouble of sitting and writing, and you know, that's what I think, you know. So the stories can come different ways. You know, there is no rules actually. It just come like that, or I said, okay, I want to make a movie about apartheid, like I did, for example, because I'm looking at the news, and I'm crying, and I'm in such rage that things like that can happen today. And I said, no, I have to tell a story, but which one? You know, I don't know the country. And then I discover a book, and everything is there. And I say, wow, okay, this is what I'll do. And I'm going to adapt the book. And I will add, you know, I'm talking about a dry white season, for example, when I came across Andre Brink's book. And so I did an adaptation of the book, and I enriched the story with, I updated the story, actually, because the struggle in South Africa was so powerful and much stronger, with involving the young, the student, you know, the kids, and that was not in the book, you know, the way that it was at that time. So I did a real adaptation, and Andre Brink, he was so happy with it, yeah. And also I have access to information that he couldn't have, being white and an apartheid country. Today, the young generation, they have that luck that people like me, like others, you know, they fought hard. People like Kathleen Collin that came before me, and you know, they fought hard to open the way. You see, and can I say people like Julie Dash? You see people like Debbie Allen. It's Nima Barnett and others, or Charles Barnett, and there was also people like Spike Lee. and I won't name them all, and I will forget, so I stop because I might forget some that I love a lot. Anyway, that new generation, you know, the new generation is very lucky, in fact, that people like that, you know, like us, we pave the way, we open the way for them. So they can come to us, they can to get advices, and many, they do that. They come to me, and I'm sure that they go to other, you know, the others. And we welcome them. We try to guide them as much as we can, because we are still struggling to make our movies. And because there is now the social media, you know, you have internet, you have the social media, you have Facebook, all these things. If somebody said to you, okay, well, I don't like your story, or it's too black, or too this, or too that, and they don't want to produce it, and you kind of find a way, you know, to make your film, you can put it on the internet. And people will go and see it. And now, guess what? The criterion to give you money to make your film, now it appears that it's not because the story is great, because you are a great filmmaker. You can be, you know, a young filmmaker who never did anything, you know, and you do one movie. Even if the movie is not fantastic, it's not a blockbuster, but if you have a certain amount of viewers or followers, so they will say, oh, that young person has such and so many followers, okay, they will call you and offer you a deal. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And that doesn't make sense to me. But that's what is happening now. So you can be a great filmmaker, you can have a lot of experience, your story can be wonderful, but you might find that you might have to face that kind of situation today. And I'm not the only one, the only filmmaker, you know, acknowledging that situation. We know that, we're seeing it.
Je ne la farine de manioc avec de l'amour. Mais on mange dehors. Ah, c'est pas intéressant, José. Allez, laisse-nous entrer.
Bah nous les, bon.
People, when they see Sugarcane Alley, they are moved by the movie because it's a movie about life. The story of an old woman, a grandmother, you know, she doesn't know how to read and write, but she knows one thing. She wants her grandson to get everything that she could and get one of the most important things that she would kill to have, and because she was a black woman in a colonial country, a country, you know, where colonialism was big time and destroying people and putting black folks, you know, just like in the sugarcane plantation, they was born there and they lived there and they died there. She knew one thing, that she didn't have education. And she fought hard for her grandson to have that. So she made sure that that boy will never be in the sugarcane plantation. So it's a story about that woman and that boy, her struggle, and the boy to study, you know, hard and become who he became. But it's a story about life, about death as well, and it's moving, but it's also, people have fun watching the movie with all those kids, what they do, and that reminds everyone of their childhood, whatever their race. That reminds everyone their childhood. Everyone had a grandmother, you know. So and I think that it's the human qualities of the film that grab you like this, and you love those people. You want to meet them and hug them, kiss them, be with them. And that's how the young generation, when they see the film and they talk about it, the movies stay with them for days and weeks and months.